Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special presentation of GameList. This is typically a podcast about our game of the year, 1 month at a time. But today we're talking about our game of the year 1 year at a time because the Game Awards. Jeff Keighley, friend of the show, has unleashed his nominees for all the categories for the Game Awards 2022. And myself, Jake Twitchin, and my counterpart over here, Kaulin, aka Kaulin _. What's going on, dude?
Kaulin _ don't forget it.
Are going to rifle through these categories outside of the esports stuff, and we're gonna make our picks. We're gonna make our individual picks. I feel like we should make our picks for what do we want to win, like what would we vote for, and then what do we think will win. I think that's a fun way to do it, right?
Yeah. Are we gonna keep score and like?
We're just gonna record this, and then I'm gonna make you go back and track everything after. That's the fun way to do it.
Okay, that's fair. I don't feel like writing it. I don't feel like writing things down right now, anyways. So
yeah, this is a problem for another day, or maybe one of our awesome viewers will transcribe it and put it in the fucking comments. Chances very slim. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
If you do, I'll give you a prize.
So small like thing that we should say, like this podcast originates because of an affiliation with Jeff Keighley, friend of the show. Kaulin and I met via a panel for the Game Awards 2020. Where Keighley was trying to figure out how to put the Game Awards together in a post-COVID world, where it had to be something current COVID world, a COVID-infested world, some would say.
Yeah.
And Kaulin and I were selected among, what is it, like 70 people, 75 people or something like that?
Something like that.
To help be like a panel, kind of a sounding board for some Zoom calls and whatnot. And Kaulin and I met each other. We started talking about video games. We launched a podcast we're a year into already, and that's how the cookie crumbles. So that's how we ended up here in the first place. So and
I got to go to the Game Awards last year.
That's
Don't
true.
Forget that.
That's true. Kaulin was present.
From Keighley himself. I got free tickets.
Yeah, they had dinner. They talked. He said, "Great job with the podcast."
I got to go have a sleepover at his house.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah.
So cool. All right. Only part of that stuff is true, but you can figure out which parts are true and which ones aren't for yourself. Yeah. Either way, Jeff, thanks. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. I'm sure he'll be popping onto the show.
You didn't give me free tickets this year, man. How ungrateful are you of my help?
Ridiculous, to be quite honest. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run backwards through the categories. We have skipped quite a few of them. We've skipped all of the esports stuff. The only thing that the only stuff that I know from the esports side of things here is, esports team I'm lost on. Esports coach I'm lost on. Esports event, the only one I watched was EVO, and it was fucking rad, so I'd vote for that. But from what I understand, there's some table setting that I can do for how this works. The esports categories are sent off to a different panel than the ones that we're looking at. The way that things work for the Game Awards proper, all of these 26 categories that we're going to be looking at, for the standard games, these are sent off to a panel of 24 different outlets. Each outlet gets a single ballot. Yes, it's a jury. In each of these video game news outlets, there's big ones, there's small ones, get a single ballot. So if things are sent out to Kind of Funny Games, things are sent out to IGN, and them as a whole have a conversation and fill out their picks as an outlet and send it in. These ballots from these 24 outlets compile 90% of the weighted score for who wins this.
Just a small correction. There's 24 outlets in America. There's like 100 something total.
Oh, interesting. Cool.
There's much more than just 24.
So these outlets basically compile 90% of the weighted vote for who wins the Game Awards. There's also a 10% weight to the little guys out there, all of us that just click buttons and you can sign in and vote and have a tiny bit of a say. But for the most part, you got to think of this through a critic's lens. It's going to be mostly these professional video game outlets that are making the call on these. So when you're making your prediction for a personal pick, it should probably be different than your professional pick and your expectation of who's going to win. But with that all being said, let's take a look at these categories and make some picks. Most anticipated game: Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, or Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Where are you at?
My most anticipated game from this list is Starfield.
Nice. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting maybe Resident Evil 4 or Final Fantasy for you. I am going Final Fantasy in the long run, but Zelda is a close second. Honestly, in on all 5 of these games to a certain point. Resident Evil 4 maybe a little too scary for me, but excited to see how it's received. Excited to watch somebody else play it.
I definitely think Tears of the Kingdom will win.
Yeah, I think so.
Because the media loves to rub it out over Breath of the Wild every day.
Yes,
so
they do. They do.
Yeah. Tears of the Kingdom will win. Starfield is my most anticipated.
Yeah. Now, best adaptation.
Arcane. Arcane is so good. I've been bugging you to watch
Let me read the categories, man. Arcane, League of Legends, Cyberpunk, Edgelords, Edgerunners, the Cuphead show, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Uncharted. I've only seen Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I don't really have a horse in this race. I'm going to go for Arcane because everybody that I've talked to says that that's the fucking cream of the crop. It seems like this is going to be a competition between Cyberpunk, Edgerunners, and Arcane. Because those are the 2 that have been really well received in the last year. I think people are mixed on Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Uncharted. I know the Cuphead show is good for what it is, but I don't think it made the same splash that these other ones did.
No.
You're passionate on Arcane?
Oh, so passionate.
So I'll go Arcane and Arcane.
Yeah.
And
I think Arcane's going to win. Yeah.
So on the first category, I think we have to do a better job of properly defining our individual picks and our critic picks. On the first one, I chose Final Fantasy 16 as my individual, Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom for my expectation. You chose Starfield, and you're expecting
personal
Tears?
Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. For this, we're Arcane across the board. 4 picks.
I think so. I think my critical one is rough. I think it could go honestly probably any way here critically.
Yeah,
but Arcane
I think you're right.
is my favorite, so I'm going with Arcane.
Makes sense to me. Best debut indie. This is an interesting category for the best debut game created by a new independent studio. Neon White, Norco, Stray, Tunic, Vampire Survivors.
What's your pick?
I think my pick is Vampire Survivors. I think it made an interesting splash this year. I think that we're going to get into this quite a bit because if you've seen the full list here, Stray pops up a lot.
It does.
More than arguably numbers and statistics say that it should. And I gotta be honest, I have not played Stray. I've watched it played almost all the way through. I fully intend on playing it. I know it is a good game and maybe even a very good game, maybe even a great game. From what I understand, it's not an excellent game. But it seems to be getting a lot of respect here. But Tunic, I feel like, is maybe a dark horse to win this as well. But my pick individual is Vampire Survivors, and I'm gonna also put my weight on that to it's tough. I mean, we know the Game of the Year nominees. One would think that if a game was nominated for Game of the Year and it was in a category with a bunch of other games for a category that is not Game of the Year with the games that are not nominated for Game of the Year, that the correct answer would just be Stray right off the bat, right?
You would think.
I don't know. It's tough. When you think about how people are casting their ballots too, though, I think a lot of it comes down to you look at that ballot as a whole. You don't do it in order like this. You can go back and change your answer. And I think that this is kind of like the opportunity for Stray. Maybe we give it in a different category and we come back here and finally give Vampire Survivor its credit that it's due. So I'm going to go Vampire Survivors for both of mine. What about you? Where are you standing on all this?
So my best debut indie is Stray. But I think Vampire Survivors will win.
Got it. Fair.
Yeah.
Very fair. Previous category. This is an interesting one.
Nibellion.
Content Creator of the Year, I think, is going to go to Nibellion. Why, you ask? Because the people that are voting on this
are
need
tight
him back.
with Nibellion. Yeah,
they're not even tight with Nibellion. I don't think they gave him the credit that was due. This guy never got his flowers where you could still smell them, and he's fucking arguably retired right now. He's dropped off the face of the earth. And I think that what the real truth is that a lot of video game journalists, especially in the United States, use Nibellion a lot. I think that they would go to him, he would do the work, get zero fucking credit for it. And if you were trying to run a video game news show and you needed a recap of what was going on, you clicked on Nibellion. You know what? I'm fucking guilty of it. Nibellion, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I didn't give you the credit where credit was due, but I used your little fucking screen caps all the time for thumbnails. I used the recaps that you did as jumping off point for topics on the podcast. Nibelion's going to fucking smoke this thing. He's going to win. He will be forced out of retirement, and hopefully he'll get the credit that is due. Somebody should hire that guy.
So the options here are Carl Jacobs, which is he got his thing from Mr. Beast. He's kind of annoying.
Yeah, he's got his own thing
Ludwig.
going on, though. He's a pretty big deal. He's got like a big Minecraft thing happening, I think.
Yeah, he's got his own thing now. I think he's annoying. But Ludwig, pretty funny.
Yep.
Nibelion, No Brew, I've never heard of. And QT Cinderella, hot, also Ludwig's girlfriend.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah.
Cool. Nibel and Nibel for me.
Yeah, same.
Good picks. Good picks. Best multiplayer game. This is an interesting one. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Multiverses, Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
Well,
I
know
am
my
somewhere between Splatoon 3 and Ninja Turtles. I find myself having a pretty hard time trying to decide which one I actually enjoyed more this year. I feel like in the long run, I would pick Splatoon as the multiplayer experience. And I think that I am going to double up, and I'm going to say that Splatoon will also win from the critics.
My vote is Multiverses.
Wow, I think there's a chance.
I
think all of these have a chance, except for unfortunately, probably Shredder's Revenge won't get a thing.
Yeah,
but a nod is nice.
I have no idea what is going to win this. So I'm going to throw it out there and say I'm going to stick with Multiverses. I think Multiverses is going to win this.
I think it's valid. I think there's no wrong answers, except maybe Ninja Turtles.
Except maybe Call of Duty.
Best sports or racing game: F1 22, FIFA 23, NBA 2K 23, Gran Turismo 7, or Ollie Ollie World. It's nice to see Ollie Ollie World in there.
Yeah, this is pretty clear, right?
I don't know how clear it is.
I think it's
Gran Turismo.
I also went Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
And I think Gran Turismo is going to win.
I think Gran Turismo is going to win. Okay, so 4 across the board for Gran Turismo. I think this is an interesting one. I think this is where things get separated. Like, when we're talking about how things are weighted, I think that if it was fan vote, FIFA would win this every year. It's the biggest video.
Year.
It's like one of the biggest video games every year. It will win the fan vote in a landslide. But I think Gran Turismo is a critic's darling. It comes around once every 5 or 6 years. When it comes out, it's top notch. I think that this is Gran Turismo's category to take.
I think, if anything, what other than Gran Turismo was going to win, I think it would be Ollie Ollie World, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you're right from a critic standpoint. It's a good call. Best sim strategy game: Dune, Spice Wars, Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Total War Warhammer, 2 Point Campus, Victoria 3. Victoria 3 I have never heard of. Dune, Spice Wars I didn't know was out. 2 Point Campus seems like it came and went. Total War Warhammer maybe has a shot. People that like that love it. I think Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope takes this, and it's what I would pick.
I haven't played any of these, so I also voted Mario & Rabbids. So I double up on Mario and Rabbids.
There's a lot of like 4 and 4 here, but as we get further into this, Kaulin and I promise we'll disagree more often.
Yeah.
For the starting here, it seems pretty straightforward. Best family game. All right, here we go. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Nintendo Switch Sports, Splatoon 3. What's your pick?
Like Lego Star Wars.
All right, fair. So we're going to start to differ. I think my individual pick is Splatoon still, but I think Kirby will win this. Where are you at for winner? So Kirby is an interesting thing to talk about. So Kirby, I think, is the biggest snub of the year. If you look at reviews, I believe Kirby reviewed better or the same as Stray on Metacritic, yet Stray caught the nom. I think Splatoon actually went higher than Stray on Metacritic. Again, Stray has the nom, not Splatoon. But my thought is that, again, when you're thinking about spreading, you think Kirby?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think what it really goes down to is that if you're going to give Splatoon credit on multiplayer, this is where Kirby gets its recognition.
Which, I'll be honest, I have done this weighing, if this gets recognition here, this should get it here for multiple years in a row. None of it ever works out. Things are always completely not how you think it's going to be. Like literally last year, It Takes Two won Game of the Year, and I never saw that coming.
Yeah, I know. So you
it
gotta
was a
keep
good
that in
game.
mind too. This is the same Elo
I
game.
never
It
saw
Takes
it
Two
fighting.
Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Best fighting game, interesting category this year: DNF Duel, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, All Star Battle R, King of Fighters 15, Multiverses, Sifu. Sifu seems weird here.
It does seem weird here. And I also did not pick it. I chose Multiverses again.
I get it. I too am choosing Multiverses for both. I think Multiverses sweeps this. I think it made a big splash, and I think people are impressed with it.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody else talk about any of the others except for Sifu. So I'm also gonna double up.
I watch a
Multiverses.
decent amount of Maximilian Dude on Twitch, so I've heard of all three of these. But I think the biggest splash is Multiverses for sure. All right, here we go. It's time to start fighting, bro. Best role-playing game.
Yeah.
Elden Ring, Live Alive, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Triangle Strategy, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. My personal pick, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. By a mile.
My personal pick, Elden Ring.
That's my critic's pick.
My critic's pick is Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
No shit.
I think so. Yeah,
I'm impressed. I appreciate that, man. Thanks. It makes me feel good. It's true.
Yeah,
it could be that spread where they try to give Xenoblade its credit here instead of Game of the Year, but we'll see. We'll get there. Best action adventure game: A Plague Tale: Requiem, God of War: Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, or Tunic. Your pick, sir?
God of War.
God of War. And who do you think takes it?
God of War. I think any category where God of War is present, it's going to sweep.
I think that as well here. I don't think about that for Game of the Year. God of War. There's another category too where I've got
I should say this last category super hard for me to pick because
this is your category, dude. You love all of it except for Tunic.
Ragnarok. Yeah, literally so hard for me to pick.
Best action game: Bayonetta 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Neon White, Sifu, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. My pick is Shredders. Your pick is
Modern
Sifu.
Warfare 2.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. And then who do you think takes it?
Modern Warfare 2.
Call me crazy. I think Bayonetta 3.
You know what?
I should change it. I think it's
my vote?
Yeah, we can both. I'm gonna pick Sifu.
I think it's Neon White.
It's gonna be Shredder's Revenge. You heard it here first. Best VR AR is a perfect example of why VR is just fucking dead in the water right now, man. How many of these have you actually heard of?
I've heard of all of them.
I've heard of two. Moss and Among Us.
Yeah.
After the Fall, I know nothing about. Bone Lab, nothing. Red Matter 2, nothing. I don't have a horse in this race. I choose Moss and Moss.
I chose Bone Lab and Moss. Bone Lab is mine. I've never played any of these. And Moss is critic.
Well, by all means, $650 and then $60 for Horizon. Let's go. Innovation and accessibility: As Dusk Falls, God of War Ragnarok, Return to Monkey Island, Last of Us Part 1, or The Quarry. I think this one is only between Ragnarok and Last of Us, and I think Last of Us takes it, right?
I see. Here's where I went. As Dusk Falls, I still have a agenda against that game ever since it was shown off, and it offended me so badly by how ugly it was. God of War Ragnarok, insane accessibility options, so good. Monkey Island, well, here I'm getting there. Monkey Island, I don't know, and The Quarry, not that good, not good at all, really.
Got it.
I think I voted for The Last of Us Part 1 because The Last of Us Part 2 got the same award.
Yeah.
It's
built off
definitely between. Yeah, it's definitely between the part 1 or Ragnarok. I don't know which one has more though.
Yeah.
Because I don't use many of them.
There's only a couple months in difference for release date too, so I'm assuming they're probably pretty similar across the board. I think I go Last of Us for both on this. I would vote for it, and I think it'll win.
I think I'm going to do the same thing here. I voted for The Last of Us. I think I'm going to stick with that.
All right, here we go. Best community support: Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky.
So I voted for Destiny 2.
You're a biased individual.
Oh, what are you gonna vote for? Final Fantasy 14? Really?
Yeah,
I had
I'm gonna
no
vote
idea.
for the one with the best community support, not the game I like the most.
No, dude.
What is Destiny doing? What is Destiny doing for its players that's so impressive?
Destiny
How's
2
their
puts
communication?
out a weekly letter to all players addressing everything in the game. There's This Week at Bungie.
Final
every
Fantasy
week
has a
everything.
monthly 5-hour live stream with the director of the game sitting there talking to you, just answering questions, walking you through what's new, sends out personalized letters all the fucking time, apologizing for mistakes, being very Japanese and proper about it.
He's apologizing for making a bad game.
Okay, Destiny 2. It's Final Fantasy 14, and I think Final Fantasy 14 will win. I think there's a dark horse in No Man's Sky, perhaps, but I think No Man's Sky is in a weird spot because they seem to pop up once every 3 months with like, oh, No Man's Sky is getting a new update, everyone's excited. But if you actually look at that fan base, I think that game is like still super fucking broken in its systems in some ways, and they just kind of get more shit piled on top of them all the time. I think Fortnite and Apex Legends are kind of unimpressive. I think this is a three horse race here between Destiny, Final Fantasy, and No Man's Sky. But my vote across the board is Final Fantasy. Pick and expectation.
I say I vote Destiny 2, but I think Fortnite will win.
Oh God, I don't think there's a chance. I just don't think they're.
I really like this is one of the categories I have no clue what's gonna win. Not a single clue.
Now this I feel like I do know what's gonna win. The options for best mobile game are Apex Legends Mobile, Diablo Immortal, Genshin Impact, Marvel Snap, and Tower of Fantasy. Now this is tough because I feel like it's tough to judge these multi-platform ones as just a mobile game. Because Genshin's
I don't
so
play
big.
mobile games.
But Genshin's so big and not just a mobile game. You can play it on so many platforms. That is interesting to try to think of it just as one. But my vote and my expectation here is Marvel Snap. I love it.
I agree.
I love it, and I think that a lot of people like it right now. Best indie game: Cult of the Lamb, Neon White, Sifu, Stray, Tunic.
What do you got here?
I think I would vote if I had to pick one of these games. I think I would pick Sifu. Seems like the best.
Have you played any of these games?
I played Tunic, and I think Tunic's gonna win.
Okay, I voted Stray.
Mm-hmm.
It was tight between Stray or Cult of the Lamb. I think
you have Cult of the Lamb higher up on your list than Stray.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
very interesting. I vote Stray, and I think Cult of the Lamb will win.
All right, some differential there.
Again,
I trust your opinions more than mine when it comes to indie games, if I'm being quite honest.
This is a category, again, where it could be any of them because they all made pretty good waves. But I don't know.
Are you ready to fight?
Best ongoing.
Are you ready to fucking fight me?
It's literally just the exact same categories last time. I don't know.
No, it's got Genshin Impact instead of No Man's Sky.
Oh, that's right.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, to me...
Hold on, read out the category.
Best ongoing game is Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. And to me, Final Fantasy 14 is the king of ongoing video games.
Clearly Destiny 2, without a doubt.
I think everybody's wrong, and Fortnite is the actual answer here. I would vote for Final Fantasy 14. I expect Fortnite.
I vote for Destiny 2, and I also expect Fortnite.
Yeah, it's the world we live in. But I just know that Final Fantasy 14 is better than Destiny. We should do a role reversal. Let's, for 1 month, in February of 2023, I play Destiny and you play Final Fantasy 14.
No, Lightfall's coming out in February. I'm not doing that.
It's the perfect month.
No way. No, it's the worst month. It's the worst.
Games for Impact. Dude, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about how we should try to do better as like video game aspiring journalist coverage people, and about how big of a gap there's going to be in here, because I know that you've played one of these and I've played 0 of these, is I think where we land.
Wait a minute, why did you say we should do better when you're worse than I am here? Maybe worry about yourself first, Jake.
One of
Come
fucking
on,
6
man.
is not impressive, bro. and I'm gonna end up playing Citizen Sleeper because I lost a bet.
Yeah. Just wait till we get to the game of the year, and then we
should each try to play one of these. We should each try to play one more of these. Between A Memoir Blue, Endling, Hindsight, and I Was a Teenage Exocolonist are the nominees, in addition to As Dusk Falls and Citizen Sleeper. So your pick is Citizen Sleeper, yeah?
Absolutely, 100%.
I'm gonna go As Dusk Falls. Is my expectation. And I abstain from individual pick. I literally haven't played any of these. I don't have a horse in the race.
Yeah, I'll play another one of these before the end. I was hoping one of these would be Norco. I really want to play Norco.
I want to look at these and see what they are, because games like this get me, man.
Why have you not played Citizen Sleeper yet?
Yeah, what is Citizen Sleeper's like? Without spoiling it, what's the impact there? Is there a pro-social meaning?
Yes.
Okay. You just spoiling it to say it? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Cool. All right. Interesting. Because this is where I feel like Before Your Eyes would fall, and I like games like that.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting one. All right, we're getting to the big boys. Best performance: Ashley Birch, Horizon Forbidden West; Charlotte McBurney for A Plague Tale: Requiem; Christopher Judge for God of War: Ragnarok; Manon Gage for Immortality; Sonny Suljic for God of War: Ragnarok. Perhaps it's a soft J, like dogging.
Sonny looks different in every picture I see him in. If I saw him out in public,
because you don't often see pictures of Sonny the way that he looks right now. You see pictures of him from like the movie mid-90s and God of War 2018. That's the kid.
What did Sonny play as in God of War?
What?
Isn't he Atreus?
Yeah.
I thought you said we saw pictures of him in the mid-90s.
Oh, the movie is mid-90s. It's the most famous movie.
Oh, okay. I was confused. I thought you said he was alive in the mid-90s. I didn't know that was a movie. Okay. What's your pick here?
Christopher Judge, and I think that's where it's going to go. I think there's a case to be made for Manon Gage for Immortality, a game that I haven't played, but I looked into pretty extensively, and from what I understand, she does some pretty impressive stuff, because Immortality, if you're not familiar with it, is from the guy who made like Her Story. It's like an FMV game where you're following an actress through the scenes of 3 movies that take place over different time periods in her life. So she's essentially playing like 4+ characters. So she acts in 3 movies, so there's 3 characters that she's playing. She's playing herself behind the scenes in all 3 of these movies, which is a 4th character. And then there's some weird interdimensional bullshit going on too, so potentially she's playing more characters than that. It's hours and hours of footage, and apparently a clinic in like actual Hollywood acting. It's not really like video gaming whatsoever. It's all just like actual acting. But Christopher Judge, dude, Kratos and God of War. If you haven't already, listen to our spoiler cast for God of War Ragnarok. There is nothing like it, dude.
What a terrible picture of him, though. They got
terrible
the worst picture. They have insulted him.
Yes.
Okay. Couple comments. I hate Ben Hansen for calling Ashley Birch Breathy Birch, because now I can't hear anything else whenever she talks.
She is
as
breathy.
Aloy. She did a great job as Aloy, though. Charlotte McBurney is my vote.
Go on, do your best impression
of Charlotte McBurney.
Yeah.
Hugo.
Yeah.
Hugo, no. Hugo.
Perfect.
I don't
Excellent
know.
work.
I got nothing. She does a great job as Amicia, and there are some very emotional scenes in that game that she portrays wonderfully. Christopher Judge, I think, is going to win, and I think he deserves every single bit of it. And then Sonny is also wonderful, but how do you compete against Christopher Judge? It's just
Sonny will have his time to shine in his Atreus game one day, maybe. I don't know.
Dude, what a freaking good gig! I wish I had gotten that gig when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Mom, sign me up for voice acting. Golly,
good setup. So, are you Christopher Judge across the board?
No, I'm Charlotte McBurney for my vote, and then Christopher Judge for critic vote.
Fair. Yeah. Best audio design: Modern Warfare 2, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Forbidden West. I bet this goes to Gran Turismo 7.
I bet it does.
Yeah.
But I voted for
Call
Horizon
of Duty?
Forbidden West.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
No shit.
The 3D audio in that game was wonderful. And like the audio design on the monsters and stuff.
Yeah.
Super good. Just
metal
great
clanging
design.
and shit like that too. Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
would vote for Gran Turismo. It's usually a fucking class act as far as like the sounds that these cars make and that they make on the tracks are always designed so well and so impressive. And especially on the PlayStation 5 with 3D audio and all that, I think it's probably a shoe-in for critics.
Yeah.
Not bad. Let's talk about best score in music, which I think is a really interesting one. A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Metal Hellsinger, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Go on, you first.
Oh, my vote is A Plague Tale Requiem.
Wow. Okay.
Honestly, it's tied between A Plague Tale Requiem and God of War Ragnarok for me.
Yep.
I think God of War will win.
Mm-hmm.
But A Plague Tale, Elden Ring, all of these, well, I don't know. I'm sure Xenoblade has okay music, but all the other ones have great music, I know.
With no bias whatsoever, my vote is for Xenoblade, and I think Xenoblade's going to win.
No, you can't just say no bias.
Mitsuda is such an iconic. This dude did the music for fucking Chrono Trigger, and he has not skipped a beat. He has only evolved. I'm just saying for like
man,
a JRPG.
If Chrono Trigger's so good, why isn't there a new one? Huh?
I hate you. But I think Xenoblade Chronicles 3 has some of the craziest fucking musical moments. It also has the most absurdly expansive soundtrack ever. There's like 4 versions of every fucking song. It's like 120 tracks. It is the most impressive shit in the fucking world, and it absolutely slaps. I think the only thing that's coming close is God of War Ragnarok, and I honestly think that people are going to vote Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I don't know.
I vote A Plague Tale Requiem, but I think it's gonna go to God of War Ragnarok because of recency bias.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm probably foolish. Oh, drat. Best art direction. Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Scorn, Stray. You first.
What's your vote? Oh, I voted Horizon Forbidden West.
I'm voting Elden Ring, and I think Elden Ring takes it.
I think Elden Ring will win, but I voted Horizon Forbidden West just because of the dinosaur designs. They're so cool. They look so cool,
but I don't think they're very original. Like a lot of them come from the first Horizon game.
Yeah.
With Elden Ring, man, the fucking visuals. I mean, like all of the regions are so distinct. You have that like colorful motif for each one of them, like the red in Kaulin and like the green in the starting area. But dude, this fucking sweeps it from the moment you go down the well. When you go down that well and you see that under fucking ground area for the first time.
Oh yeah.
There's no better moment in video games, dude. It's fucking stunning. Like, it really blew my mind. And that game does that exact thing like 10 times throughout it, where you can't believe what you're fucking looking at. It really just looks so good.
Yeah.
So I'm going Elden Ring.
I think it definitely wins, but I did vote for Horizon Forbidden West.
That's fair. Best narrative: Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality. You're going Plague Tale, and you think God of War will win?
No, I'm doubling Ragnarok.
I'm doubling Ragnarok too, baby. It's so good.
I want to vote for Plague Tale so badly here, but I know it's not gonna win.
No, you can't take this away from God of War. It's the best story of the year.
And I did tear up in Plague Tale once, but I teared up in Ragnarok a handful of times. So.
Yeah, it got me twice, maybe 3 times. It's fucking
as
good as it gets, dude.
Yep.
Best game direction: Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality, or Stray.
Sorry, I lost my thing. Best game direction I gave to Elden Ring.
Yeah, it's
I voted Elden Ring. Yeah. Ragnarok's close. I mean, it's so hard when you get to this point.
Who do you think takes it?
I think it could go either way, Elden Ring or Ragnarok. I really don't know, man.
I think that this one is Elden Ring for me, and I think Elden Ring takes it. And here's why. I think when it comes to game direction, God of War Ragnarok was the easier thing, because you can kind of think of these games both as sequels. God of War Ragnarok was like do what 2018 did, only better. And they did that in grand fashion.
Yeah.
It is very impressive still. But Elden Ring, Miyazaki, I believe, had a much taller order here, not only creating like a story, obviously, and everything like that, but they had created an open world for the first time. And they did it in grand fucking fashion. They went from much smaller environments in scale to something absolutely gigantic, and it is impressive, dude. Impressive what they accomplished with Elden Ring.
I think I'm doubling up Elden Ring here.
Yeah, it's the way to go. All right, let's fight. Game of the year, baby. A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, or Xenoblade Chronicles 3. What's your pick?
My pick is God of War Ragnarok.
My pick is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Has been for a long time. And that won't change. That is not my expectation for winning. I think that there are only 2 games that even have a shot here. And we all know what they are. It's Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok. Who do you think gets it?
I think God of War Ragnarok, man. Recency bias.
Yeah, I think it's a good call, but I'm going to go with Elden Ring.
Here's the thing that we got to think about. The last FromSoft game was Sekiro. It got Game of the Year.
Yeah.
The last Sony Santa Monica game was God of War, and it got Game of the Year.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So somebody's going to lose a streak.
2018?
Yeah, somebody's going to lose a streak here. Or was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think Elden Ring takes it. I think there's also like it's a little bit of a Game Awards darling. It was re-revealed there.
It was 2019. I can't remember for Sekiro.
Yeah, you might be right.
I don't know, man. The thing is, like all across the board, if I could rank them, I would go God of War, Elden Ring, Plague Tale, Horizon Forbidden West. I think that's actually how it is laid out in my top.
I think that's your top 4 games. We talked about this, so you've got a really interesting thing where 5 of these 6 games you have played, and 5 of 6 of them are on your Game of the Year list. The only one you're missing is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. You've got to play it, dude.
Yeah, I do need to. Which also, Elden Ring, I've 100%ed. Horizon Forbidden West and Stray, I've all 100%ed. And I'm working on God of War and A Plague Tale.
Wow.
So
that's wild.
Yeah.
You could potentially fucking 100% all of these games by like early next year.
Except Xenoblade Chronicles because it's 1,000 hours long.
Yeah, but if you put in 15 hours into Xenoblade Chronicles, I would trust your.
There are no trophies, Jake. I can't play games without trophies.
You can't 100% it. But you could tell everybody you 100%ed it in your head because there's no fucking proof.
How many hours did you spend on it? 4,000.
Xenoblade, I thought you were really asking me. The answer is like not that much. It's like 56 hours or something like that.
Oh, that's not bad.
No. And I did a fair amount of shit. Really fucking good. Pretty good nominees overall this year.
What do you think's going to take it? What do you think's going to take
Elden Ring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's a critic darling. And I think everything else will get its flowers elsewhere.
Which, hold on, Metacritic. I think Elden Ring and God of War are tied right now.
Really?
God of War is at a 94.
Wow.
Elden Ring is Elden Ring is actually higher.
Really?
The Xbox and PlayStation version are at 96.
Wow.
Hold on. Games this year. We've got Elden Ring at 96. Persona 5 on PC at 95.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the Portal Companion Collection is the highest rated game this year. At a 96 on Metacritic, above Elden Ring.
Really?
Yeah. And then God of War.
Very good game.
Yeah.
That's my
game.
So
the PC version of Elden Ring is tied with God of War.
Classic. All right. Hey, listen, we're locked in. We'll compile these. We'll have them ready when we watch the show. Kaulin and I will get together. We're doing that, right? We're live streaming. Yeah, it's being announced now. We're live streaming, co-streaming the Game Awards this year.
What day is it?
Oh, come on. You going to put me on the spot, bro? I'll tell you when it is.
I think it's like the 8th or 9th.
Hold on. Wait for the page to load. It says here 23 days until the show. December 8th.
Yeah,
nice. Look at this graphic. Fucking sick, Keely. You're crushing it, bro.
Yeah,
crushing it.
But we'll be reacting live.
Yeah, you can find us. We are GameList. We're a podcast about our game of the year, 1 month at a time. You can find us in your favorite podcast app. You can find us on YouTube.com. We are GameList Show on all platforms, including that one. I am Jake Twitchin on all platforms, like twitching without the G. Kaulin is a.k.a. Kaulin _ on all platforms. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this, go find us somewhere else. Press some buttons, make us feel good. It helps more than you'd know. Kaulin, take us away and say something funky for the viewers.
Can I say Fimblewinter again?
Yeah, you can say Fimblewinter.
Fimblewinter.
He nailed it, bro.